It's story time. Have you felt the energy in the air? Have you felt the energy shift? Maybe you're seeing more vivid dreams. Maybe you're feeling or hearing things at a heightened sense. Do you hear that piercing in your ear? I'm talking to all my empaths. I'm talking to all my psychics. I'm talking to all my water signs, or any sign for that matter, who's been picking up this energy that's been shifting with the Pisces eclipse moon. Oh, my lords, now I could use a sound bath, right? Okay. So it's story time. The reason why I say it's story time in my witchy poo outfit is because we have a full moon in Halloween. On October 12th, I'm holding a sound bath just for you. Holding a sound bath with Reiki infused energy. And we're using that moon energy to bring in abundance. Just like that Pisces eclipse moon, I don't know if you've survived it, but my intuition blew up even more. I was seeing things that I have to share with you, because if this is you, I don't want you to think you're crazy. This is you opening up your third eye, opening up your intuition, connecting with your higher self. So let me share my story with you, please. Okay. Now, in this, I wrote in my journal because it was so powerful. This happens to hit home. My mother passed away at the age of 52, very young. And that just goes to show you how trapped trauma can still be inside the body and have an effect on your soul and your body and in every life. So there's things that we have to work on, right? Knowing that my mom is in spirit, knowing that I work with spirit with what I do as a profession, I asked her to come through and help guide my daughter and protect her on her journey from leaving the East Coast, moving back to the West Coast. And the first sign that shows up the day she has to move is a truck with the last name of my mother's maiden name on the back and side of this moving truck. And I thought, what? That is so crazy. Thank you, Mother. So I stopped saying it was crazy because I wanted to keep putting good intentions out there. I ended up going back to my, helping my daughter pack up all her things. So I went out there and helped her friend as well, giving them a Reiki session. But after the Reiki session, I kept seeing this name, Joe, flashing in front of me in bright red lights. 4 times, Joe, 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 Joe. And I thought, is this message for them or is it for me? I don't know. Do I know anybody, Joe? So I asked the 2 individuals in front of me, my daughter and her friend, do you know anyone named Joe? And they said, no, we don't know anybody named Joe. So I moved on, okay? After I left and they were on their journey the next day, I kid you not, she calls me and says, Mother, when I woke up this morning, the door opened and I saw a moving truck in front of my house. It was not the moving truck that I asked for, because I'll tell you that story in a minute, but there was someone else moving across the street who was moving out, and they had a truck that said Villarreal Moving Company. And her and I just looked at each other and I thought, oh my gosh, that's my mom. My mom's last name is Villarreal. Okay. So I said, thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother, for giving us the sign that she's going to help my daughter and protect her. Okay. So it gets even crazier, and I'll come back to you with this name, Joe. Well, as she continues her next throughout the day, she's having all her stuff loaded up onto the U-Haul. She calls me up and she says, not only did I receive that confirmation with the truck, but it took me 6 trucks, 6 U-Haul places to confirm a truck big enough for all my stuff and a trailer to hatch on with my car. And she goes, 6 of them said no, but on the 6th one, she said, they actually helped me. And she goes, you know how I feel about the number 6? And I said, I do, I do. My daughter was born on June 6th. She weighed 6 pounds, 6 ounces. And yeah, 6 is very powerful in transitioning too and moving forward. So I said, what else happened? She goes, the 6th person answers the phone and says, Joe's U-Haul. What? And they happen to have one truck, one trailer out of all of their trucks that would fit my stuff. And the guy that answered the phone owned the company, and his name was Joe. Are you serious? That's what I'm talking about. So now I'm getting little tingles on my arm going, who is this Joe? So then we keep moving forward because it's still not connecting with me. Who is this Joe? No one knows who this Joe is, but that was just a little weird coinkydink that the person that happened to have the only rental would be named Joe. So fast forward, she's on her journey. She's driving with her friend, right? She's going across the country. And she's going through different mountains and plains where they're not able to get good reception. So she's realizing it's getting dark. We need to get a hotel, right? So now she's a little freaking out a little bit just because there's no reception. So the moment she gets reception, she starts calling hotels. There's only one place that's under $300 that's going to offer her a place. So she calls it. And the woman says, yes, we have your reservation already on hold for you. We were just waiting for you to confirm. She goes, what do you mean you already have my reservation? She goes, yes, it was already made for you earlier today. She goes, who made the reservation? She goes, do you know a man named Joe? Tingles! Do you know a man named Joe? And she said, excuse me? As she's driving, she almost had to pull over. She's freaking out, but she's acting calm. She goes, do I know a man named Joe? Can you please give me Joe's last name and the phone number that this person, Joe, made the reservation from? She said, sure. Person's name Joe is with a 323, and the phone goes silent. She lost reception. But she has the place of where she's going. She knows where she's going. She gets there safely. Sure enough, she confirms that some man named Joe made her reservation for her. Who is Joe? Ah! Okay, so that's coinkydink number 2 for Joe. Now, Villarreal is the theme, right? Not still seeing the 2 connections. Moving on to the next situation. She's going to the place. She stays in the hotel. She feels safe. So she goes on her next journey, which is a few more days until she gets to her location. Now she has to find another hotel, similar situation, bad reception, going in and out, in and out. And she's thinking, how am I going to find this hotel? So all of a sudden, on her GPS, there's a hotel, brand new, has vacancy for her. And guess what it's called? Grandpa Joe's. Are you kidding me? Grandpa Joe's. Ding, 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 ding. My mother's father, who passed away when I was very young, who adored me, is named Grandpa Joe. Not Jose, but we would call him Grandpa Joe. And I almost started crying. I thought, oh my gosh, this all. So first we have Joe's U-Haul, number 1, Joe. Then we have Joe, who made the reservation, Joe, for this hotel. And she gets there. They still don't know who this Joe is. I'm still not figuring out who this Joe is. The third Joe that comes around, she's still in that predicament of trying to find a hotel, right? Again, same situation, no reception. Finally, when she gets reception, she finds a hotel. And you're not going to believe this. She goes, Mother, you know how I am. I like everything clean and new. This place was brand new. Not only was it brand new, but it was available for her and affordable. And it was called Grandpa Joe's. Are you kidding? Grandpa Joe's. So, Grandpa Joe happens to be my grandfather. That's what we would call him, Grandpa Joe. And it totally dawned on me, oh my gosh, this is who's been helping and guiding her, is Grandpa Joe from the other side. Oh, I'm so happy. So then I thought, oh, that was 3 Joes plus a Villarreal. So now I need to see what's going to happen with the 4th Joe. Who's the 4th Joe? What's going to happen? So she continues on her journey. And when she gets to her location, finally safe and sound, you're not going to believe this. There's a restaurant across the way from her new place. Not literally, but you have to drive a little bit. It's in her neighborhood called Joe's Home. Are you serious? Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Joes, and she made it home. And I am so grateful. And that's how strong spirit can be. And I'm grateful that on the other side, we can still feel their energy and see their presence, even if it's not with them standing physically in front of us. They're definitely strong enough to show support on the other side and helping us in this life. So I want to say thank you for listening to my story. I am so curious to see if you have any similar stories to your intuition, because I do have more. Thanks for watching.